things. So again, we want to figure out what is that? Like, what's the secret? Okay, so almost every number that I put up here while I teach this is going to be minutes. So it's kind of good to kind of keep that in mind. So here's what we say about student number 1. Again, tries really hard, but has a problem. They sit at home or in the library for 90 minutes and they read. 90 minutes straight, so that's an hour and a half. Kind of a long time to read, but people do that all the time. So what we're going to say, and I'm going to ask for a little help from you, and I want to get some participation on this. The first 10 minutes out of the 90 should actually be very good for this person's memory. In other words, they're going to remember a lot of what they read during that time. Why would a person remember a lot from the beginning? Besides the fact that it's the beginning. It can be the most basic sometimes. What kind of energy level do you have when you start reading compared to later? Well, hopefully you're at your best when you start. You could be tired when you open up a textbook, but half hour from now, you're going to be ready to fall asleep. So you're at your best. And also, this is kind of sad to say, you're not bored yet. Not that textbooks are always boring, but you know how that goes. And so when you open up the book and you lean forward and you concentrate, everything is really good for a few minutes, and so you're going to remember a lot of what you read. Now, here's the mystery of the day. So again, I want you to try to figure this one out. The last 10 minutes should be the worst minutes because you're exhausted by then, but these are actually among the best minutes. So why would the last minutes of reading stick in your brain better? Yeah, and you also know by then that you're almost finished. I don't know if you do this. Whenever I show this to students, most people look at me like, oh my gosh. They thought they were the only one who did this, but most people do it. When I was in college, I would open up a textbook and start reading. And I would read for about 10 minutes, and then I would stop and do this. And see how many pages were left. And it was always a lot. I thought, oh God. Then I'd read for about 3 more minutes. And it was like I was climbing a mountain. Like, when am I ever going to get done? But when I finally checked for like the 10th time and I realized, wait a minute, a couple pages. I'm almost done. I could have been ready to fall asleep. All of a sudden, I get a shot of adrenaline, extra energy, because I know just a few more minutes, I'm done. And so then I start concentrating, and then it sticks better, right? So all good. Well, how much time does that leave in the middle? 70. So you didn't know this was a math workshop, but it is. What happens during this time? Bad things. Okay, this is where your mind wanders all over the place. You're there, you're gone, you're there, you're gone. Are you going to remember a lot of what you read during this time? No, because you're not focused as well as you should be. So that means this person who, again, is trying really hard ends up having about 20 minutes that are good for their memory, beginning and end, and then 70 minutes that are bad. And that's a pretty sad use of their time. Okay? So what does student number 2 do that makes them remember way more? Well, they do this. They do 3 things, 3 habits. The first one is the most obvious. This number is way, way too big. Unless you're a very unusual type of person, our ability to concentrate doesn't last 90 minutes. Sometimes it doesn't last 90 seconds. You know, we have a hard time. So what I'm going to suggest is that rather than reading for 90 minutes, that you read for